with the wheel of wisdom. So the wheel of wisdom, Samsara, Nirvana, two sides of one hand. So in this, now we have done 2 weeks, 2 Saturdays, we should say, which in this gives the complete cycle of this Samsara and Nirvana. So while we're studying, practicing the teachings, so it gives the complete purpose, the wisdom or the guideline, to follow. The first, as we have went through, the non-duality nature of the Samsara, the very nature of this confusion itself is the wisdom. But since we fail to recognize or realize that nature, then we are in the duality state. So that we went through that. And then how we wander in the Samsara through the 7 topics. We went step by step. What the basis of the confusion and the cause of the confusion, so forth. We went through that. So these are very important we to reflect, you see, because we individuals are the responsible. No, let's say, Buddha can give his wisdom into our mind. He can give us the instruction, method, how we can work with that. So therefore, it's very important to reflect on this. Because of this, it is very important to first see, to cultivate our mind. As like myself, desire to free from suffering. As like myself, I desire to have peace and happiness. Everyone is in that, in that state, regardless who they are, believer or non-believer. So that is the reality nature. So Buddha, who realized this total nature, complete nature of the Samsara and Nirvana, and from that perfected state, then Buddha taught all this Dharma teaching for us. You see, how to reveal our reality nature, that what we have within us. See, and this, this is something that we put so much emphasis on this. We need such kind of, unflagging faith. It makes sense? Unflagging faith. To see that nature, then we can have unflagging faith. Then, with that kind of support, we progress step by step. It's called unflinching devotion to study, practice the path. So these two are, I feel, very important. Voluntarily, not because somebody imposed you. If you don't do this practice, I will put you in the prison, You see? Or if you don't practice this, I will prosecute you, you know. So we need our own wisdom, that we need a conviction, total conviction to this, follow the path, say. Then it becomes so comfortable when we practice. You know, with appreciation, with feeling of joy, you know, because you have the conviction, you understood what you are doing, you know. So because of this, you see, this kind of wisdom is very important to follow the path step by step. So now what was now it's the second, so now how to awaken from this ignorance, from this confusion. So we are studying that. No? Looking at the samsara, samsara is a vicious cycle, unending, within in the confusion. So one who desires to free from that cycle, so what we should do? So we should now study, practice the Dharma, step by step. So we went now about the four foundations, so forth. So I don't have to repeat on this. And then after that, we went through the refuge. There are two verses. First, the outer refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, we take refuge in. Then when you advance this practice, your understanding of refuge, then you take refuge within in your own mind of the wisdom. Your innate nature of the mind is Dharmakaya, the Buddha. So that, you know, all these qualities of that itself is nothing but wisdom. That wisdom, Buddha, and that's also Dharma. That who follows, that very mind follows into the path step by step, unwavering. It is called the Sangha, so which is within us. So, you know. So it is a very important point on this. Then next, we need a good teacher as a contributory condition. You know. The teacher is the compassionate hand, of loving kindness. The teacher who is ready to share the wisdom for peace and happiness of others. You know. Then that is called who's holding the hook of loving kindness. A face of bodhicitta emblazoned means has such great bodhicitta, shines the wisdom and compassion to others. You know, with the measure and manner marks. Matured from a youth devoted to scripture and realization, the teacher should have all those qualities of study, scripture, what Buddha taught, and all the great masters like Nagarjuna may not have all the complete, but all the necessary teachings The youth means well developed. And then not only just intellectual, but realization, he said, no, means experience. They studied and went through this step by step. Experience. May not have the experience of the Buddhahood, but at least for some extent, to share with others. And then skill it means, then who has a skill, how to share the Dharma teachings to others, how to give Dharma teachings. Like, for example, a practitioner who doesn't know anything, if he or she gives their highest yoga tantra, or say like a Mahamudra, it doesn't mean anything, you know. If you say everything's empty, you know, what you mean empty? I'm not empty, I'm full, you know. So need a skill how to share the teachings step by step, so that a sense of the wisdom is called skillful means. So when you find such teacher, then the student has also responsibility. So respectfully means some devotion. No. So seeing some preciousness. This teacher has good qualities to share others. There sometimes you take advantage of the teacher, and when you don't like it, throw it in the trash. So not so good, you know. When you have good feeling, oh, I like you, I respect you, you have all these things, you know. And then when you are taking about your emotions, you know, then trash. They say, you said this, that, you know. And then you make the teacher miserable. So not so good karma, you know. So both teacher has responsibility, teacher or guru or lama, whatever, has the responsibility. You know, showing the others very sincerely how to be helpful. You know? And then this student need also responsibility to accept, to do things right. You know? Instead of defending your ego, you know, then at the end, the result is not so good, you know. So this, what I'm saying, respectfully adhere to this kind of spiritual master. So it's called contributory, contributory condition. No. Or it's called contributory cause. So student, one who has Buddha nature, so forth, is the primordial cause. No. We have ourselves, the principal cause is within us. Then we need to awaken that Buddha nature. We need a contributory cause, the teacher. So these are, you look at the jewel ornament of liberation. There you can see there are 5 topics in that describes, you know. Then next, 3 trainings. Now when we practice, these things are required. So here describe very skillfully, step by step, how to follow. See, first you see the nature of the samsara. Then you take the refuge. It's the first gate you open towards the enlightenment. Now to follow the path, you need a good teacher. You know? And then when the teacher gives these training, now here this is called 3 training, in a wide field of renunciation. See, here renunciation means you really want to free from samsara. As I mentioned, through our conviction, we really want to attain Buddhahood, enlightenment. So that's called in a wide field of renunciation, you know, because you have the fully conviction. You have the total, complete information about the samsara. Now, there's nothing more to dig. Samsara, now you see samsara is samsara. No matter where you go, no. Then, with that, clear away the rocks and weeds of non-virtue. Then in your life, look at in your mind, in your behavior, physical, verbal, mental. Now, as we went through 10 virtues, 10 non-virtues, so see, clear away all these weeds of these non-virtues. See, that's what called Dharma practice. It's not just chanting only mantras or saying some prayers. Now look at your mind. Now, what is your behaving? All this purify, you see. Then plant the potent seed of the 10 virtues. If you have, rejoice. Make better, stronger. If you don't have, adopt. The 10 virtues, the foundation. There are so many others, but 10 virtues, 3 from the body, 4 from the speech, and 3 from the mind. Look at these, and if you, as I mentioned, if you have, you rejoice, progress, make stronger. If you don't have, adopt those, and then follow the path, So it's called 10 virtues. And ripen the fruit of the 3 trainings. So this way, you train your body, your mind, you see, it's called keeping the moralities and practicing the samadhi, and then special insight, which comes next, you see. Moral conduct is bountiful when desire attachment has been dispelled, you see. Means when you are avoided or purified or abandoned, like say 10 non-virtue, so that person has good moral conduct. Or you say who are practicing 10, or first you say yes, who are practicing 10 virtue has a good moral conduct. That's what it says, no? Not harming others, not harming yourself. Basically, not harming others. Others means not harming to yourself. Because when you harm other, and you pay the price. See, which goes round, comes round, So when you harm others, means it's harming yourself. See, causality, you see. That's what is now. So then, samadhi is happy body-mind after one is free of anger. When the anger is dispelled, then you have your mind is so calm. Here, anger, if that includes resentment, and rage. So these in the world, people have so much this. So when these subside, put other place, not keeping in your mind, then your mind is so peaceful. So that peaceful mind is good samadhi. So samadhi can achieve in the absence of the attachment and the anger. See, when there's a desire, attachment, difficult to have samadhi. When there's anger, difficult to have samadhi. So keep this in the mind, which disturbs your mind. Just look at, so purify those disturbances in your mind. And then you can have samadhi. See, so the two. And the third, insight wisdom, which sees things directly, arises. The insight wisdom arises when delusion has been defeated, you see. Delusion means the confusion, the mental affliction, or you should say the ignorance, the ego, or the self-grasping. When that is purified, then mind is totally clear, precise. So when these three, you see, moral conduct, samadhi, meditative concentration, special insight, prajna, when these three are practiced, then one has the complete path, a way to follow the path. See, these all three are appreciated by all the Buddhists, Theravada Buddhists, Mahayana Buddhists, Vajrayana Buddhists, everyone. See, please understand that, Very important. Sometimes, when we say Vajrayana, sometimes the moral contact is not so much appreciated. So that's mistake, you see. We should understand that. All the Buddha taught is nothing but only to purify our adventitious defilement. You see, there's I met some really sincere practitioners. They said, I have been practicing for so many years. I see very little progress. And everyone has Buddha nature. And they are suffering so much, It says it's overwhelming, what we should do, I'm so frustrated, the tears coming in their eyes, you see. Yes, I see they're really sincere practitioner. First of all, there are not many who are practicing sincerely. There are many who say, oh, Buddhism is good, wonderful, peaceful. It's a peaceful religion, it's a very good, but not really sit there and practice, very few, So that person can see these things and then say, how we can free from samsara, how we can achieve enlightenment, all these things, you see. But if you have, see, clear mind, and look at these, the three training. In one way, it seems very complicated, but in another way, it's very simple. First, always watch your mind. No, purify your mind. That takes time. And that person also told me, oh, I studied everything is illusory nature, my afflictive emotions are illusory nature, but very difficult to get rid of this illusion. No? So I really appreciate that, because he was trying, really. But these illusory afflictions, they are so stubborn, They are like a rock. So we need such a strong hammer to break the rock. So Dharma is the hammer to break the rock. So because this, as I was explaining, this mantra, chanting mantra, saying prayers, be kind, there's a lot of those quotations there, and these mental afflictions, they are not listening, The mental affliction says, you go ahead, say your mantra, millions of mantras, say, I'm still here, I'm still fresh here. See? So these are the very important points that we reflect on. Make it simple, but direct and at the point. See? So through these, as I mentioned, these three trainings are shared by all the Buddhists. So then next is coming bodhicitta. Now look at here. Clouds of loving kindness suffuse the mind sky, you see. Here it's very beautiful metaphor. Our mind is like the sky, space. When the sky is just beautiful cloud, especially it has been not much rain for some time, we need the cloud first, then rain, Without the cloud, there's no rain, you see. First, the cloud of loving kindness pervades the mind of the sky. See, it's beautiful, Then, see, and their misty rain of compassion falls at just the right time, say, at just right time before the drought, and before the drought, we need the rain. So the rain of the compassion falls in the right time. See, like the farmer, they plant the seed on the ground, big field. Like say here in medicine, we have a lot of cornfields, huge cornfields. And if there's no rain, it will be all dry, So we need such rain at the right time. So rain of compassion from the cloud of the loving kindness just comes in the right time. Means this outside the metaphor. Look at inside the mind. When we are confused, when we are suffering, delusion, in the mind, the sky of the mind, we need the loving kindness. Then from that loving kindness means desire to others to have all the peace and happiness, including your enemies. Then we need compassion, desire others to free from suffering. See, so build that, bring that into your mind. See, Then see, with that combination of loving kindness, compassion, do we cultivate bodhicitta. See, so bodhicitta harvest fills up the storehouse. Then you develop the bodhicitta and it becomes real, not some intellectual or imagination, but fresh bodhicitta. See? So that's what is so important. Dispelling the ignorance famine, you see, dispelling the ignorance famine of the limitless migrators, you see. Then when you have the bodhicitta, see, which is based on the loving kindness, compassion, build the courage, strength in the mind. You know, then we are well equipped for ourselves to free from suffering and to help others. See, without foundation of that, loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, it's very difficult to help others because we are not equipped. See, no matter how much we know, no matter how much we have the information, it's difficult to help others because we cannot help ourselves. So you see, look at these metaphors. Now it's beautifully can put, so it can take into your heart. You know, say, yes, it makes sense. So it's not just a, now we have, so the time is now we have a little problem, the time. We don't have much time. No. But it is not just Buddhist, you see. It's universal. No. It's not Buddhist training. That's why we say prayer. May all mother sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness, you see. We say these prayers all the time. So now this here, we have to understand this. Universally, everybody desire to have peace and happiness. We need loving kindness. Everybody desire to free from suffering. We need compassion. And to actualize that reality, we need bodhicitta. These are the causes and conditions. You see, Buddha, who has the wisdom that see these causes and conditions to free from entire suffering, you see. So then, because it's Buddha taught, then we say it's a Buddhist. But actually, in reality nature, it's required by everybody. See? Now to grow, like say, potato in your field, see, all things required to grow the potato. It's not for something, no. So when you want to grow potato, then the farmer will say, you need this. You see? Then yes, you have to follow what the farmer said. It's not just it's a farmer's system, or just a farmer's kind of say tenets, but it's a universal. How to grow the potato. Same thing. To free from entire suffering. So these are the conditions we need, So this transcends, you see, all the differences. This gives us a way free from all the boundaries. In the samsara, we are trapped in the confine. During this COVID, everybody is confined in their own houses, you see. So now we need unconfined. See, you understand? We need unconfined, the vast natural freedom of all the boundaries, like the space. So that's, you see, that's through these kind of practices, they say, dispelling the ignorance, famine of the limitless migrator. Then you can help so many sentient beings. Then here's saying, which is important, which is not important. Look at here. No matter how much influence, magnificence, wealth, and renown, say, you may have such a great influence in the society. Everybody's talking about that person. And you have all the glories, magnificence, and all the wealth. And you are renowned in the world. So one has in the world. Know that, so we should understand that. These are impermanent, you see. These all are impermanent. But everyone is working for this, you see, how to influence society. No, how one should have the glory, magnificence, and wealth, and how to become famous. That's the interest of everybody in the world. Autocracy, democracy, whatever you say, you know. It transcends the boundary, you see, in the samsara. See? But they are all impermanent. No, I'm not saying they are bad, okay? But this is the interest of everybody. But it is impermanent. So, fall away quickly. So it just falls away quickly. One day you are so powerful man. Next day you are nothing. One day you are billionaire. Next day you have nothing. You know. So it's all just illusory nature. That's called impermanent. And so, without attachment to them, now when I say these are nothing, then I'm not suggesting we should be lazy. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no, I don't. So some say, oh, I don't like money. You know, say, you know, what doesn't have the money? They say, I don't like money. You know, that's a little silly. You know, what they said now, habituate bodhicittas. This is the wealth. This is the wealth in this life. You get all the benefit. All this all this here mentioned before, influence, magnificence, wealth, renown, and so forth, others, to become happy. See, that's the goal, you know, we want to be happy. And we want to have peace. Peace and happiness is everybody talking about that. In everybody's body, a mouth has this. Doesn't matter who they are. So the bodhicitta has all this. When you have bodhicitta, you can influence in the world. You have the magnificence. You have the wealth. You are well known everywhere. Everybody is talking about you and respected. Especially, you see, because of being who you are, people are not attracted you because of wealth. You don't have wealth to attract. You don't have authority. But because of having the bodhicitta, that itself the wealth. See? So that wealth we should habituate, get used to it, reflect on it. One can become a universal king or queen, which is of benefit to oneself and all others. See, once when you have bodhicitta, first you get all the benefit, as earlier mentioned. Then you can help other sentient beings without reservation. See? So this all what it means, purify all our mental delusions. The mental delusion makes the boundary, demarcation. But bodhicitta transcends all the boundary, demarcation. It makes the universal. See? Then next, this is a beautiful now poem about bodhicitta practice, you see. It's a metaphor. So, the metaphor is an aeroplane. Following the flight path of all the conquerors of the three times, means all the Buddhas, the Buddha of the past, Buddha of the present, Buddha of the future, will follow into that highway. The practice of bodhicitta. See here, the jumbo jet of relative and ultimate bodhicitta. See. So here, bodhicitta, the jumbo jet is the metaphor for the bodhicitta. Okay? This is something new, kind of writings you find. What of you see like a king, like a royal, like a chariot, like a this, in the old time, there are powerful things, they made that kind of metaphor. Now this is a modern aeroplane. You take as an example of the bodhicitta. You fly from here to another country. So like that, from samsara to Buddhahood, you take the flight of the bodhicitta. Okay? You like that? See? See? So, soar through the sky on the wings of two accumulation. The jumbo jet has the two wings. Those are the two accumulations. The accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. See? Buddhahood is achieved through the perfection of the two accumulations. So the jumbo jet of the bodhicitta fly in the sky with the two wings of the accumulations, and then you fly in the air for hours, many hours, to achieve
the Buddhahood of the other city. So there's and lands smoothly with no delay at the Fort Kayas airport, you see. So take that in your mind and just say, yeah, that is beautiful. No, I should memorize this, keep it in mind and practice this. Then see, you reach to the airport of the Buddhahood. Okay, so these are the bodhicitta. Oh. Now next is Tonglen. Now this is very popular. I know everybody is talking about Tonglen, giving and receiving. So here I described some difference. Tong is sent, Tong is sent or given or release. These different meanings there. You see, it's not just one. Tong means sent or release or given. Like say, Chibatong means give the generosity. In Tibetan we have that. Len is receiving, accepting, adopting. It's a lemma. So Tong Len. So it turns in English terms we have giving and taking, you see. But first I explained Tong Len, because many people are so interested in practicing this, and people are because we have a lot of mental problems, So I said the teachers, they talk about this. That's wonderful. Now I'm practicing Tonglen, like this. But here we have to understand step by step. Okay. The first verse here said, with a positive attitude of loving kindness and compassion, of course, which is based on bodhicitta. That's the kind of now our capital here practicing, bodhicitta. Yes. How would that bodhicitta combined with loving kindness and compassion, I give to the downtrodden sentient beings of the six realms, you see. So downtrodden, so these sentient beings are poor sentient beings, you see. They have no protectors. They are no helpers. In the world, you see, they are working so hard, but everybody is taking advantage. Like in the country, you see, all the business, look at all the advertisement. They advertise to the local people, the customers, and they try to take advantage of those people as much as they can. Or politicians, you see, the politicians and the business people, everywhere you see. Of course, some leaders are so wonderful leaders, some leaders have such great compassion. I want my country, the fellow members, be happy. I want to do this to help these people. So there are some exceptional leaders, but many are, you see, they're taking advantage of people. So then, of course, animals, look at in the ocean, in the field, those animals, you see, first of all, they kill themselves, each other so much. Then on above that, how much we human beings consume of these now creatures, animals in the ocean, on the field, So they are so vulnerable. They're suffering so much. So we need such kind of responsibility with love and compassion. So that's what Buddha talked about. So precious, Look at these. So these sentient beings of the six realms, since I give all my happiness and roots of virtues, I give just in your mind. There's nothing say, this is my happiness, you take it. No. But in your mind, I want them to be happy. So I want to give my happiness to them. My root virtue that I practice by bodhicitta, I want to give them. See, that's called giving, you see, sharing to others. That's the practice, you see. Meditate on this. So this is such precious thing. See, without reservation, see, without regarding for yourself. If I practice this, maybe I become famous. By practicing this, maybe I become rich. None of this. Not regarding any of this, just sincerely, purely, you give. Then what that does is, you see, it helps us to purify all our mental afflictions, our anger, our attachment, pride, jealousy, so forth, you see. So meditate this. This is not something spiritual thing, but it's a wise way of practice to create such an environment, peace and happiness. See, I'm sure you have heard of sometimes, ethic without religion. So we don't need to talk about those things. These are just universally, just practice this. Share to others. So there's no boundary. Anybody can practice this, you see. You may practice any religion that doesn't against your belief. Actually, it serves what you are believing. It transcends the boundary. See? And if you don't believe in any religion, you can practice this very openly, sincerely. If one has the discernment, wisdom, can practice this. So first, this is one way, what means giving, you see, give. Or send. Yeah, give. Now next, see, with a natural manner of brave heart mind. Brave heart mind means bodhicitta, the altruistic thought, the heroic mind. No fear, always ready to do things for others. It's called brave-hearted mind. I take into my mind stream every one of the qualities of abandonment and realization of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas of the 3 times. Now this is receiving. Take in. You see, you receive, you take in. What do you take in? You take in all the excellent qualities of the Buddha, see, and Bodhisattvas with such a brave mind. You see, you accept that, you see, so that you can become Buddha. So Buddhas of the 3 times, Bodhisattvas of 3 times, I accept their excellent qualities. Abandon means purifying all the obscurations. Because when Bodhisattvas, and especially Buddha, when they attain Buddhahood, all the obscurations are totally vanished, purified. So I want to do that. So this is now, you understand, taking in. You see, giving, to give others what you give. Peace, happiness, your virtue, all things what you have dedicated to others. And then all the Buddha's wisdoms just bring in, meditate. That's the bodhicitta you take in, develop, both relative and absolute bodhicitta. Okay, so these are the gist to put into this word. So this is like, say, when you receive empowerment, as I taught you the short, concise Guru Yoga. At the Guru Yoga, there's a section, you receive the empowerment, you see light coming from forehead, throat, heart, navel, purify your body, speech, mind, all total. So this about that, you see. While you are receiving the empowerments, you are purifying all the obscurations of the body, speech, mind. At the same time, all their qualities just receiving into you. So this practice, actually you have those, but we need to bring up through these practices. Okay. Then next, yeah, again, more it goes with practice of Tonglen. In Samsara, from beginningless time through today, so from beginningless time until this time, where we are now, the sole cause, the only cause bringing suffering is always my own self-fixation. Of course, yes, there are many causal conditions. He had me, she had me, they did me, they did this, they brought this, all these things. But at the end of the day, the self-grasping is the sole cause of the suffering. See? So look at this in our mind. Grasping the self-aggrandize. We promote ourselves, how important I am. No? And while we are talking about this no self, no, we kind of make sure myself is full skilled in the fixation of my box. I have a very solid box. So I put into this box and then I lock it. So I'm well skilled, you know. So nobody can steal that. So look at this. So purify this. There's no self. We just need to release. That's called scent. Release. It's the only source of suffering. So, see, self-fixation. Always my own self-fixation. Fundamental non-knowing. It's called marikpa, ignorance. That's the fundamental not knowing. Now, as I mentioned before also, ignorance doesn't mean so stupid. Some ignorant people are so smart, They know how to do the good business. They are so smart. They know how to do such, politician. They know how to play the politics. But based on the self-grasping, self-fixation, see, without bodhicitta. So please make sure to understand this, So I give this away. You see, this gives away means I release this self-fixation right now, today, because today I have the time. I have precious human life. Today I'm receiving these instructions. So it makes sense, After you walked away from your room, just say, I feel so light. Because this fixation, self-grasping is so heavy, so narrow, Now I release it. Now it disappeared. So I give this away right now without a second thought, Sometimes you may fear, if I release my fixation, then what should I do? Where I am now, how I can eat, So don't worry about those things, Because this self-grasping, the self is very smart. It knows how to trick you, It can come so many ways, from the Dharma practice, from your business, from your politics, from your any different way it will come out. And we should be very smart enough to catch up that and say, I release. So this is called giving. Give to nobody, but you give to the emptiness. You see? So emptiness will take care of it. Within the emptiness, it has no space, you see. Make sense? So these things, you just, these are very beautifully described. And then you just practice it beautifully, skillfully, with great joy. Then next is, practice is, he said, knowing that all sentient beings of the three realms, the desire world, form world, formless world, three dhatus, those, everybody knows those. Sentient beings of all those are there, they have been my mother from beginningless time up until now, one or another lifetime, So I recall their kindness. I reflect. Just as mentioned, not just human beings, even like look at the bird. When the bird lays egg, how the bird hatches the egg, how the bird now, say, helping the chicken to grow. No, whatever, it takes time. Weeks, month, day and night, the bird is make sure her eggs and her chickens are protected. It's natural, you see. That's called every sentient being. It's natural. So how much they take care their offspring. So likewise, everyone who has been my mother and did the same thing in the human realm, in the non-human realm, So I recall their kindness. See? So because of that, one, first, Martians, understand your mother first. Then recall the kindness, second. Third, wish to repay their kindness. Now you have, I owe so much. I must do something to help them. So there's no wish to repay their kindness, third. And then to repay their kindness, I have to connect my mind with love. Wish to have happiness, peace to all sentient beings. Okay? Recognizing all sentient beings as your mother. Recall their kindness. And then you want to repay for their kindness. And then loving kindness. With that, I generate compassion for them. This means, even though I wish them to have all the peace and happiness, but they are suffering. Their suffering is unrelenting, non-stop. So now I have to cultivate compassion, them to free from all the suffering. So compassion, see, compassion. 6. Okay. And let's see. Sentient beings, kindness, repay their kindness, love for compassion, 5. Yeah, 5 for them. Then with that, then the mindset to achieve enlightenment for their sake means cultivate bodhicitta. So now I cultivate bodhicitta. So these 6 topics, please reflect on these 6, one after another. So that's called interdependent, interconnected. Compassion is not an independent thing. Just you cannot develop just right away. First, you cultivate loving kindness. Why you want to cultivate loving kindness? To repay their kindness. Why you want to repay their kindness? Because they did so much to me. Who are they? All sentient beings. Okay? So these are 6. You cultivate, practice. So this will give you such a great method of exercising your how to practice bodhicitta. Okay? Says this one. I take all this mind training into the center of my heart. You see, taking in how to practice this in your heart. So here I'm making very good, skillful method how to train yourself, your mind in the bodhicitta. See. Then next, what we have is without clinging or attachment, I give my entire bounty of resources and roots of virtue to these kind matters. So the first now, giving. See, is that right? Yes. Mother, these matters, yes. Without clinging or attachment, I give. What are those what you give? My entire bounty of resources. Whatever you have, no, whatever you own, including your body, I give my body. So say, my body speech, this may benefit all sentient beings. I dedicate to all sentient beings. So bounty of resources and roots of virtue to these kind matters. It's giving. See. Then, and in authentic manner, like an illusion, like a mirage, I take on all their karmas, afflictions, and the suffering. So that you see, I'm sure you have heard of, breathe in all the suffering of the sentient beings into your nostril with the black smoke. Give away all your now happiness with the light. Have you heard of that? That is not so, of course, it is right. First you should understand it is correct. But we as a beginner, maybe not the best choice. So that's why I say illusory nature, mirage, realize all as an illusory nature. See, like a mirage. See, just it's visible. All sentient beings you cannot ignore. You see those, but they are like a mirage. They're just a reflection. No, it's illusory nature, just a manifestation. Means what that shows, the nature is emptiness. You see. And this is the very wise way of practicing of this Tonglen. Okay. Otherwise, you see, I go to different places and talk with people. Some people told me that individual said, I have been practicing Tonglen for some time. Now I'm very depressed. Now I get sick and I don't feel good. What should I do? No. So these things can happen, you see. Because you are breathing in all the suffering of the sentient beings. They are negative emotions, So then you say, first time you say, oh, I'm practicing Tonglen, Second time, oh, I'm practicing Tonglen. Then after some time, oh, no, I feel not good. Then when you breathing in all the suffering, you have fear. Even I cannot handle my own suffering. Right now, emotionally, I'm breathing in the suffering of the sentient beings, but actually all the suffering of the sentient beings come to you, how you can handle. Then there arises fear, resistance, you see. To avoid all this, what you call, to avoid these obstacles, yes, I should say. This is the best, you see. You should meditate yourself also as illusory nature, as I mentioned during the Guru Yoga, practice yourself as like a rainbow party. Rainbow is visible, clear, but no substantial flesh, bone, like this. It's all illusory nature, mirage, both yourself and others. Then you can cultivate your bodhicitta so powerfully. So please understand this. You know how to practice these things are so important. That's why you need good guidance, you see. Otherwise, you will be off the track. Off the track. Tangent, something like that, So this special I mentioned, is everything as a illusory nature. So then you can, with that, karma is illusory nature. Your suffering is illusory nature. Their suffering is illusory nature. All mental affliction is illusory nature. At the same time, they manifest, but then you have no fear. See, because you have the wisdom of the emptiness. Okay. And next is we have the last one. Now next one is just conclusion of the practice of the Tonglen. Negative conditions are spiritual teachers. Means all the different obstacles, negative conditions. When you face different obstacles in your work, in your life, in your business, or in your practice, whatever obstacles manifest, you take as a spiritual teacher, not take as a negative. This is teaching me. So now depends where you are, depends what kind of obstacles you face. So just as a samsara is state of suffering. Always encounter the obstacles. So this is teaching me, reminding I'm in samsara. I should be free from samsara. And then sometimes you take this, this teaches me impermanence. This teaches me loving kindness. This teaches me compassion. This teaches me practice of bodhicitta. So like that, you see, as a teacher. Person, without person, any obstacles, conditions you face, you just see as a teacher. Then next said, spirits and demons, emanation of conquerors. We call demons. There's evil spirits. Mara is coming, you say. So those emanation of the conquerors means Buddha, because their nature is Buddha. They have Buddha nature. So in the Vajrayana, we have this practice, you see. In Vajrayana, you are practicing like Chandrasik, Tara. Any practices of Vajrasattva, you have to visualize all are as a Chandrasik or Tara or Vajrasattva. Everyone, even animals, you see. So you see, from that you can understand all those demons, evil spirits, monsters, maras are the emanation of conquerors, the Buddha. Practice that. So all things becomes positive.
And then you realize their nature is illusory nature. Like the cloud, And then sickness is a broom sweeping away defilements and obscurations. When you get sick, sickness, physically, mentally, any parts of your body, when you get sick, this is purification. Because I have created a cause somewhere, sometime. Now it's coming here to purify the karma that I've created. And I'm so fortunate. Now I have the Dharma to see these things as a positive. It's not something spiritual, but this is a way how to free from the delusions and recognize how everything can become a positive. So that's, you see, even the poison can become medicine. See, sickness is the brooms sweeping away defilements and obscurations. Defilements, my attachment. I'm attached to my body so much. When I get sick, I cannot tolerate. No, but I have no choice. So I have to practice. See, it doesn't mean you should get sick, but we get sick without choice. So that time, of course, you take the medication. You should do that. But at the same time, practice this. Then purify, appreciate, rejoice this practice. You rejoice the wisdom of the Buddha, the Dharma. So that's called Dharma. That's what I mentioned, First, I'll finish next one. Then all suffering of Dharmata's waves, all the different sufferings, it's the chewing love. Like when there's an ocean, there's a wave. So all the suffering is the wave of the emptiness. Because we see emptiness as something form. All what you are seeing now, their nature is emptiness. But I don't see the emptiness. I see all you as an individual, See? So see, Dharma is how profound, how precious the teaching is. That's why we need to study. We need to practice. Sometimes we become lazy. We just want to get some empowerment and solve all the problem. I got the empowerment, now it's okay. Or then if there's obstacle, then nowadays it's become very popular. When there's some obstacles, you send money to the monastery, ask to say some prayers, and obstacles disappear. And we want all the easy solutions. We don't want to work. And how much we can expect. So there, you see, we see these things, study, practice this here. So these 4 lines are very important. So other day, I mentioned, you see, Buddha said, don't rely on person, but rely on Dharma. This is what it means now. This is all, you have to rely on the Dharma. Rely on the bodhicitta.
the relative bodhicitta, the absolute bodhicitta. Totally rely on that. See? Because you see, Buddha who came on this planet, who taught these teachings, 2,500, over 60 years gone. Buddha is not here physically, you know, but Buddha's teaching is still with us, you see. So we can rely on the Buddha's teaching. We want to see the Buddha, but we don't see Buddha. So Dharma is with us, you see. That's why you should treat Dharma as something more important. Okay, and purification. We do this first, purification. We need a lot of purification practices, you know, many different ways. So here now say, purify without remainder, nothing is left. In the presence of the Buddha, you should visualize Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or Vajrasattva's, any deities, Buddhas you have, visualize in the space. Any type of fall or downfall, natural or imposed. See, just any types. Sometimes you may say, I'm a lay person, I can do these things without realizing what kind of consequences are there, you know. So that's why you see monks and nuns there, they took vows, then they cannot do this, you know, it's called imposed. And we are lay people, we are okay, we are not monk, we are not nun, you know. We can do these things. Not so. Whatever is imposed to the ordination, the ordained one, monks and nuns, since there is consequences, so Buddha, with the ceremony, you should not do these things, because there's the consequences. So usually I say, prescription, you know, prescription? What is this prescription? When you get sick, the doctor will prescribe the medicine. You see, whatever types of problem you have physically, accordingly, the doctor will prescribe. See. So Buddha has prescribed all the cause that brings this suffering. In other words, all which are bring the cause of suffering, Buddha said, don't follow it. Don't commit. Doesn't matter whether you're ordained or not ordained. No. So that's called prescribed. You know, prescribed? Not to do. Prescribed. No. Prescription. Prescribed. So not commit. Yeah. Yes. All these things, non-virtues are prescribed, mean not commit. All the virtues that you have to do is prescribed. All the medicines are that you have to practice. Doctor prescribed all the different types of medicine. Likewise, Buddha prescribed. So Dharma is prescribed. Dharma is a prescription that Buddha has prescribed. All the non-virtues are prescribed not to do because they're cause of suffering. So this is very important in this. Now, this is if you have heard of Gongjik, is one of the main important points of the Gongjik. See, Buddha, what Buddha said not to do is not to do anybody, because Buddha's teachings for every sentient beings. And that also not only Vinaya, but also Mayana, Vajrayana, all. Yes, so that is we first recognize what are to be purified. So any type of fault or downfall, natural or imposed, committed by body, speech, or mind, under the control of the three poisons. Three poisons, using the four types of power. It's called remorse, resolve, attitude, and reliance. So you visualize the Buddha, Bodhisattvas, anyone, then in front of that, whatever karma that I've created, today I totally purify, absolutely purify, without any remaining. So first, remorse is very important. Remorse means feeling of not right. I remorse this. It's not correct. No. This is a bad decision. No, remorse. Then once you that resolve, I will never commit again this. And then antidote, practicing all virtuous practices. And relying on the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Bodhicitta. Purify all obscurations. Then next, this is the relative way how to purify. Okay, in the relative state, visualize. Then all this with the reference, or with the object, with the projection object, with the reference. Do all these practices within the mandala of the bodhicitta. Next is with ultimate way of purification. See, I wrote this way, so there are different practitioners. You see, some who knows then can do this next one. In the sky of mind as it is, you see, mind see as a sky, as it means uncontrived. And space free of center or age, you see, like space has no boundary. As mentioned, unconfined, vast, infinite. And that's the clouds of adventitious conceptual thought condense all this. From these, the confusion of duality arises, and then various karmas begin to accumulate. Purify these in the transparent, non-referential experience of Dharmata. All those mental delusions, as mentioned here, the adventitious conceptual thoughts, adventitious defilements, the confusion, the duality, the karma, whatever I've gathered, that's all dissolved into the emptiness. There's nowhere to go but in the dimension of the emptiness. And meditate. Relax there. Yourself within that, you see, if you practice I'm real, and then I'm practicing emptiness in front, this is duality emptiness, not so wise. So this is a profound practice, you see. So I made a choice, both described, so that you should know how to practice first, which one, then next, all this. So appreciate that, rejoice that. Okay? These non-referential state will describe more down at the Mahamudra section. Okay? Now here we make a short break. Om Banza Sato Samaya Mano Balaya Banza Sato Tenoba Tijato Membawa Sudu Kayo Membawa Subu Kayo Membawa Anorato Membawa Sarwa Site Me Prayata Sarwa Karma Suzame Tetan Shriya Guru Honga Ha Ho Bhagawana Sarwa Tatan Kata Batra Mamemud Barzimbawa Ma Samaya Sato Just take a deep breath. Breathe in fully. And exhale. Now, first, please refresh these teachings that explain. Just briefly, I explained. Rejoice. Please rejoice. I'm so fortunate. How I can deserve these teachings so direct, precious, powerful. And reflect what I taught, what those are, step by step. Thank you. Please make a short break, about maybe 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, yes.
He's from
Elizabeth, yes. Tao Tan, how are you?
Thank you.
Okay. You are
The
almost
permanence-
enlightened?
Sorry. My friend leave me.
I thought you are on the way. Cosa Chonga.
Bueno, lo dejo. Thank you.
Hi, Khenchen.
Yeah.
So I met you back in 2003 at TMC.
2003. Okay, way back. Okay.
Yeah, with
What
Lama Ji and Drupon.
Okay. Okay, Lamaji.
Hmm.
Okay. How you are doing?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
Long time no see.
Yeah. Now, very good to see you now.
Yes. Still going to TMC.
Excuse me?
I've been going to TMC.
Oh, you're going there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's wonderful. Then our group from Chile, Buddhismo Drikung Kagyu.
Un abrazo grande desde Chile.
Yeah, okay.
Gracias.
Okay, Tenzin. And I see Bauer and Kemutoma and Steve, Melissa, Steve. Oh.
Hello, Khenchen.
Yeah. Steve, how you are doing?
We're doing well.
That's good.
Say hello to Khenchen.
Excuse me?
I was talking to Melissa here. She's coming to say hello.
Okay. Do you hear my teachings?
Yes, we do. Thank you very much.
Okay, wonderful.
Here she is.
Hello, Khenchen.
Hello.
Oh,
That,
wonderful.
Yes, it's a wonderful teaching.
Yeah, I love this very much.
that's great. Here I see Muddy.
Hello from Colorado, Khenchen.
Oh, from Colorado. How you doing?
Good.
Excellent. Happy to hear from you. From Colorado. And Ragnall, Carol from Bay Area. Okay, now we are about time. Om Banza Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Banza Sato Tenoba, Tita Tito Membawa, Sudo Kayo Membawa, Subu Kayo Memba, Anorado Membawa, Sarasiti Me Prayaza Sarwakarma Sutame, Zeda Shreya Kuru Hong, Ha Ho, Bagawana Sarwa Tata Gata, Madrama Memunda, Marzembawa, Masamaya Sato. Okay, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully. Exhale. And please open your heart, then we'll follow. Then next is paramita, the perfection. The 6 parameter, 10 parameters there. And to perfect, this means to perfect the bodhicitta. Okay. To perfect the bodhicitta, you have to realize emptiness. So when you realize the emptiness, then you perfected your bodhicitta. So first you have to make sure the relative bodhicitta is very important. The relative bodhicitta totally just make it happen. Infuse bodhicitta within your heart, and you get it, the bodhicitta. And then that bodhicitta, the reality nature of that is free from boundary. That to realize this, we follow this paramita, the perfection. First is said generosity. Now this all I don't have to talk too much, because you have been reflecting on this subject in many places, like jewel ornament of liberation, and also say bodhicaya, avatara, so forth. So generosity, moral conduct, and patience. Here patience means fearlessness, and perseverance, joyous effort, and meditative concentration, samadhi, and wisdom. So these are the 6 paramitas, or these the method to realize the perfection of the bodhicitta. Okay. With these 6 transcendent actions, see, transcendent action. Action means put into practice, not just only intellectualizing, no, understand what their meaning is. And then transcendent actions. Then this the highway of the congruence of the 3 times. So these 6 paramitas are the highway to attain Buddhahood. Not just only mere empty or emptiness, especially emptiness with a negation. You negate, that doesn't do any good. Here, emptiness means uncontrived emptiness, as natural as it is. So that the 3 times, realize the twofold selflessness. When you realize this, the twofold selflessness, twofold means the person selfless, the person's selflessness, and the phenomena selflessness. The person's selflessness, you see, like I, as we talked about, I, me. So no, this individual that I'm independent. So purify that concept, that duality, that confusion. And the phenomena self is this book is a phenomenon. You see, this is real. It has identity, it's like these things. So that book is also illusory nature. So realize these 2 selflessnesses through the practice of the 6 paramitas. Then next is 10 paramitas. Now mentioned, described each with 1 line, with a good metaphor, as mentioned, metaphor. The generosity is the all desires wish-granting jewels. So generosity means practice of giving. When you give, you receive. So giving is receiving. So there are many ways, not just only wealth. You give wealth, you give loving kindness, you give compassion, you give bodhicitta, you give fearlessness, you give wisdom. So all this giving practice means receiving. You receive all the benefit. That's the causality, you see. Whatever cause you created, you get back to all the benefit. See? So that's this called all desires wish-granting jewel. more you give and you get, but you give without expectation. So out of bodhicitta, only to benefit others. Whatever you give that. No. If you give kindness to someone else, then you just give that without expectation. No. The next, moral conduct, the stairway to temporary higher status and liberation. The moral conduct is the direct cause to reborn in the human life, in the God realm. No, that's what's called the stairway to temporary higher status and liberation to free from samsara, to achieve the liberation of Sharavakas, liberation of Bodhisattvas. Buddha is the moral conduct. No. Then patience, as I mentioned, fearlessness, all mental delusions, especially anger, totally uproot. So that practice is called patience. It's the beautiful and resilient, mighty Mount Meru. You know, person who has no anger and has the beauty. Oh, it's so beautiful. Doesn't matter, physically maybe ugly, but very beautiful. People love that person. Old, young, doesn't matter. So, you know, the patience is the beautiful and the resilient. It's like Mount Meru, unbeatable. It's invincible. Perseverance, hands scooping up the jewel of enlightened qualities. So you are working, you are studying, you are practicing. So you are developing all the excellent qualities. So it's a hand, like collecting all the jewel. You know, your hand collects the jewel. So it's the perseverance which we achieve, get all the excellent qualities of Buddha. You know? Meditative concentration is a fine mention. So it is such a beautiful mention, a house, a palace, where one may rest from the afflictions. In that beautiful house, swimming pool, you know, all the flowers decorated. It's so beautiful and peaceful. So there's no kind of say confusion. So all the afflictions are just come down, not obvious. So that this shamatha, the samadhi, is such kind of place. You know, all your mental afflictions are just come down. There's no storming, no storm. And wisdom, a bright lamp, dispelling the gloom of the two obscurations. The obscurations of the affliction, the obscurations of the knowledge. Those two obscurations are taken care of by the light of the wisdom. So said the wisdom, a bright lamp. So the metaphor is bright lamp that dispels the gloom of the two obscurations. So 6. Now 7th is supreme method. Supreme method means the wisdom and compassion that combine together. Wisdom supports the skillful means. The skillful means supports the wisdom. So it's called, this is called supreme method. It's a wise man. It's the wise man filling up his treasury with the two accumulations. The accumulation of merit, the accumulation of the wisdoms are collected, gathered by this supreme method. Aspiration means you aspire the perfection of your prayers. That a wish-granting tree is mythology. Or we can say nowadays, like apple tree is wish-granting tree. The apple, when that apple tree grows so many apples, and you market, it brings all things that what you wish to. Apple tree or avocado tree, There's some trees, cherry tree, they are real wish-granting tree. So that's, the wish-granting tree that completes the two benefits, benefiting oneself and benefiting others. So when you produce very delicious apple, you enjoy, so you get the benefit, and you share others, and others get the benefit, you see. Likewise, when you have this great wisdom, the bodhicitta, which is the foundation, then you get the benefit, you are free from samsara. And then you give the benefit others because of your wisdom, helps the other to go beyond the samsara. So you give benefit others. See, so that is called aspiration, the perfection. So the perfection of the generosity, perfection of the moral conduct, perfection of the patience, perfection of the perseverance, perfection of the meditative concentration, the perfection of the wisdom, perfection of the supreme method, perfection of the aspiration. And next, supreme strength. Strength means ability, power. It's a warrior victorious over the four maras. It's like the warrior, the great warrior who goes to the battlefield and defeat all the enemies. So here, your bodhicitta, well established, that becomes such a warrior. It defeats the four maras. The mara of the mental affliction, mara of the death, mara of the devaputra, and the mara of the called skandha. When you attach to our skandha, the five aggregates, is a mara. When we have mental affliction, it's a mara. Devaputra, when you have enjoying all this, attachment, not enjoy. When you have attachment to all this luxurious thing, then it's a mara. Then when you afraid at the time of death, it's a mara. So when you have that such great wisdom of realization of the emptiness with compassion, then none of these four maras can exist. That's why bodhicitta is so precious, and why we need bodhicitta practice. See, this is not something, a spiritual thing. This is something, a highway to free from entire confusion and to achieve the enlightenment. See, so please reflect on this, you see. So here I'm sharing this teaching not as something like Buddhism or Buddhist kind of philosophy, but I'm sharing this as a universal reality nature. that we can, through this study practice, we can free from all the suffering and attain the Buddhahood. And anybody can do it. See. Then next one, the last one, primordial wisdom. In Tibet it's called Yeshe. An ambrosial medicine that realizes the nature of mental affliction. See, this primordial wisdom. If you have heard of 4 dharmas of Kabuka, the 4th one, the 4th, last one, may I realize the confusion as the wisdom. This is what is meant. See, this primordial wisdom is such a great ambrosia. That ambrosia, all this poison, the poison itself, becomes the medicine. So when one who has such great ability of the mind, great samadhi and wisdom awareness, all this mental affliction has no space. They are under the nature of the emptiness. That means their nature is wisdom. See, right now we are so poor, so weak. The mental afflictions are very easily can take over. We're very easy to get upset, very easy to get attached, anger. Our mind is so fragile. But if we practice this step by step, their nature is nothing but empty. And that emptiness can realize when you achieve the 10th bhumi. That's what's called the primordial wisdom. Okay? Afflictions. Writing, so these the first 6 parameters, and second one is the 10 parameters. So the 10 parameters goes from first bhumi to the 10th bhumi. This was riding the thoroughbred horse of the 37 factors in accord with the enlightenment. There's 37 branches of enlightenment. If you have heard of 4 mindfulnesses, like this, and 4 abundance, 4 miracle feats, 5 power, 5 strength, 7 branches of the called enlightenment, and 8 rightful path. So these are the 37 branches of enlightenment. So these are you take step from the first part of accumulation, and the part of the called application, and then special insight part, and part of meditation, and part of perfection. So go through this step by step. This is what's saying. It's like horse galloping on the ground. The capital city, Dharmakaya. So the capital city of the Buddhahood is called Dharmakaya. That's the capital of the Buddhist, okay? If you ask, where's the Buddhist capital? It's a Dharmakaya. Okay. And that capital place that I'm going to now. So now today made the map where the capital of the Buddhist, you know, so Dharmakaya is the capital of the Buddhist, okay? That's your optimal object to reach there. So the capital city, Dharmakaya, is in reach. You can get there. How wonderful. This is marvelous. Then you can stay there permanently, non-return. Always enjoy your life. Every day is a picnic. Okay. Then you have this, you know, you can see down, you know, all the movies of the Nirvana. You know? Then you can visit all the Buddha fields. Okay. And next. So now there are, you know, the 5 parts. So after this, we finish the first part. So the 5-fold part of Mudra. 5-fold part of Mudra. We just finished the first one, the bodhicitta. And now second, yidam here. Now these are, you know, all those things. Vajrayana, you know, yidam practice is Vajrayana. When you practice Vajrayana, there's a deity, you know. So the deity is called yidam. There's individual deity, like say Chandrasi, Tara, white Tara, green Tara, and then there are higher, you know, like, you know, so Chakasamvara, Goya Samaja, then there's a Yamentara, and all those things. So this is called yidam. After the practice of the primordially established deity has wholly purified the stand of impure confusion. So, you know, in the deity of practice, you see there's a 2. The kirim is the establishing generation stage and completion stage. So here you see, when you visualize yourself, like say Tara, when you become Tara, Tara is your ultimate object to achieve, to realize Tara, but you become Tara. So that Tara is Tara, primordially pure. See, so that's what's called primordially established, primordially pure. So when you're visualizing Tara, then all your mental affliction has no place. All are just purified. Means you have to purify yourself. It will not purify by itself, but you have to purify by yourself. So it said, has wholly purified the stand of impure confusion. So our confusion is, this is me, my body is here, flesh, bone, and I'm just, you know, like this. So these are impure. We're confused. So that confusion is totally dispelled by establishing yourself as like Tara. That's primordially pure. You are not making pure, but it's pure by itself. But you have to realize, we have to recognize that what it is. So the universal purity of the union of the generations and completion stage is perfectly completed with the enlightened qualities of separation and maturation. See, through this practice, you say universally, you know, purity of the union of generation and completion. So you establish yourself as a mentioned like Dharma, or any practice you do, that it is just by itself, it's pure, but you establish yourself in that. First, you are going step by step from emptiness, then visualizing lotus, then muntis or sun disk, then above that you're sitting as the Dara. This all called generation stage, or step by step. Once you're fully established, it's called completion stage, chanting mantra, so forth, and dissolving into emptiness. It's called completion stage. So during this, see all the obscurations, confusions, we purify step by step. See? Then through this purification, all Buddha's qualities are manifest. It's called separation. Separation means you are separated from the adventitious defilement. See, all the confusions are no place, fully purify. Then within that, it's called, you see, maturation means all the excellent qualities, like the 10 strength, 4 fearlessness, so forth. The physical, the verbal, the mental, all the excellent qualities you are just fully matured or fully manifested. So then you see the 10 strengths, you see 10 strengths and rest. So this is the first why you practice yidam. It's all just to purify obscurations. So that has to be done under the foundation of the bodhicitta. Then next, one more we have, so the few more. Purify the mental afflictions, the direct cause of suffering, you see. When you practice the yidam, vajrayana, any yidams, single or with consort, practice all these mental afflictions. They are the direct cause of suffering. So you have to purify them, not engage with these mental afflictions. You see, purify the mental afflictions, the direct cause of suffering, with the practice of generation, completion, method, wisdom, divine form. Like, like when you practice the highest yoga tantra, then all those deities have with consort. So we have to understand their nature is illusory nature, inseparable of the appearance and emptiness, wisdom and compassion. All those delusions has no space. Make sure we understood that. Then with that, you see, we practice that. Then we're practicing accordingly, Otherwise, but take care. If affliction gain control, if with their wrathful deities, you are getting some anger, aversion, or with consort, some desires, if they control your mind, then it's not good. But as a divine form, spirit or demon may result. It's possible. But we should practice very carefully with the bodhicitta, with the total renunciation of the samsara. Because sometimes the Vajrayana becomes so available. It becomes more available than bodhicitta. There's so many empowerment ceremonies everywhere. And very little emphasis of the renunciation of samsara. And then that's possible. Mental affliction give rise. So that is unfortunate, So therefore, he said here, Kyobypa Jigten Sumgon, means Lord Jigten Sumgon, said, now Jigten Sumgon is quoting from Buddha, said, the Buddha teaches that deities who experience desire, attachment, are hungry ghosts in the preta, hungry ghost. Deities would experience hatred, aversion, are hell beings. Result is in the hell realm. With the hell realm, and in the hell realm, you see there are some very angry face, like that. They're born in the hell realm with angry face. Deities who experience delusion are animal, meaning ignorance, stupid, unclear, then can born as an animal. A person deity is non-virtuous. So Buddha said the person deity is non-virtue, is non-virtuous, it's not good. Deity form, but occupied by the delusions, mental afflictions, is not good. So we have to purify these mental afflictions. And from it, suffering comes. Because of our mental afflictions, then it comes the suffering. And so keep close watch on the deity. So when you practice the deity, make sure your bodhicitta, make sure your mind is not afflicted by the mental affliction. Always keep inseparable of the appearance in emptiness and meditate. These are very important advice. Very, really, Otherwise, your practice can become useless. You made so much effort, but without proper guidance, and then you suffer without any reason. So you see, you always look at the mind, watch the mind, make sure you have bodhicitta, make sure you have understanding of the emptiness. So these things so important. So this is the second. Now the third is Guru Yoga. This Guru Yoga is more advanced. In that there's 2 verses. Adhere to an archetypal Lama, a very expert, a leader, a lamp for migrators. It's a lamp, it's a light who can dispel the darkness. One with a glorious treasury of benevolent blessing and the boundless, inexhaustible, melodious, vast, and profound teachings. You see, first, as earlier mentioned, needed such great teacher who has these great qualities. Who has such great loving kindness, compassion, and the wealth of the wisdom, very rich in the practice of bodhicitta. So it's inexhaustible, And melodious means who can explain the teachings without mistake. That's called melodious. All the teachings are explained clearly, precisely, you know. Oh, did I? Oh, maybe I. Sorry. Yeah, first I finished that. I've not completed this video. The 3 lines are left there. Anyway, yes. On the 3 baskets of sutras and the 4 classes of tantra, you see, since this is related to Vajrayana, so the teacher, the guru, must have basic understanding of the 3 baskets. 3 baskets, Vinaya, Sutra, Abhidharma. And 4 classes of Tantra, action Tantra, first called the Juju, action Tantra, contact Tantra, and Yoga Tantra, and Unsurpassable Tantra, Anuttara Tantra. So these, who has these qualities, the teacher of Tantra. So these qualities, when he has, and teaching to the disciples, then has all the benefits. Yeah, before I go to the next, let me finish this deity yoga practice, the 3 lines left. Keep the close, watch the deity. Then after there's a follow these words. One's own mind must be one's witness. So first you understand the teachings, then look at your own mind, whether I'm doing correctly or not correctly, whether if there's any mental afflictions or not. If there's mental afflictions, you purify yourself and realize, meditate on the emptiness, illusory nature in the deity form. See, then ensuring that the practice of the bodhicitta, yidam deity, and the rest remain a method. Then with that, if you practice that, bodhicitta, yidam deity, guru yoga, mahamudra, all becomes the method to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. Remains a method with which to eliminate the mental afflictions. So that will help us to purify all mental afflictions. Sorry about that. Little bit I jumped. Okay, now the second verse in the Guru Yoga. Utmost respect and devotion for a 4 kayas entity, Vajradhara Lama, a bodhicitta manifested illusory kaya, an unexcelled leader of the protector-less, leader of the protector-less migrators is how the treasure of Dharmata is discovered. As earlier I mentioned, so the teacher or the guru should have all the necessary qualities. Not as a Buddha, if possible, of course, wonderful, but to some extent, need all the excellent qualities. Then the teacher should be very sincere to help the sentient beings, not take advantage, you see, because the teacher is embodied bodhicitta and no attachment in the samsara. So these are very important points. No attachment, samsaric things, possessions. And then have wisdom to help others sincerely. So when the teacher has these good qualities, then the student should see the teacher who has the 4 kayas. That's the utmost respect and devotion for a 4 kaya entity. So the teacher is the nature of the 4 kaya. But this student, from the student point of view, should see this to benefit to yourself, not the teacher. Teacher is not, maybe not Buddha, but if you see the teacher has this, the nature of the teacher, of course, has the necessary qualities, then you see the teacher, nature is emptiness. Within the emptiness, then the form is there, Sabokaya, Nirvana Kaya, inseparable nature, Sabhavika Kaya. You see that. It's your own benefit. The teacher will not become a better. It's up to teacher, for the progressive stage. Then see Vajradhara Lama. So that becomes the Vajradhara Lama, Vajradhara Guru. A bodhicitta, see, manifested illusory kaya. So that here bodhicitta means ultimate bodhicitta, the Dharma kaya, manifested in the illusory body. When the student has this kind of perception, understanding, that the student gains such a great realization. All the blessings the Buddhas 3 times received from that. See, kaya, and unexcelled leader of the protector less. So that becomes such a, here means unexcelled means there's no any can match to these enlightened qualities. So becomes the leader of the sentient beings. Leaders, migrators is how the treasure of the Dharmata is discovered. Then from that you can discover the Dharmata, Dharmakaya, all pervading wisdom within in the unconfined Mahamudra. See, this is very profound. See? So this is the Guru Yoga. That's how you know. So you see, the short Guru practices Vajradhara or Jigten Sumgon I taught. You can practice like this. You can enrich those practices with this instruction. Okay. Now next is the Mahamudra. Okay. Resting in the uncontrived state of the mind, the luminous, free of coming or going, innate character is the supreme meditation. First you see, let me see. If I see Tibetan, maybe that helps me to, my mind follows a better place. See, here I said that rest, first of all, said, resting in the uncontrived state of the luminous, free of coming or going, the innate characters, you see, that is view of Mahamudra. Now it's not resting. First is what is called luminous, free of coming or going, innate character, the innate character, it's called view Mahamudra. Okay, view Mahamudra. Then you have to bring that resting in the uncontrived state of the supreme meditation. That's when you rest your mind in that state. No, Mahamudra on the view, without moving, without moving means without dualistic thought. Meditating on that is called meditation. So the meditation is inseparable from the view. Okay, view that. See? Then you see, conduct free of acceptance and rejection is marvelous. Then the conduct. Then when you're resting your mind in that, with that meditation, there's nothing to reject. There's nothing to accept. Just maintaining your mind as it is called conduct. Okay? So you should understand these three: the view, meditation, and conduct. These three are inseparable. But you see, the view is all pervading as it is. It's a dharmata, luminosity nature. And then maintaining your mind in that state is the meditation. And while you are meditating, there's nothing to accept, nothing to reject, is conduct. So that's the beauty of the Mahamudra practice. Okay. Then, because in that, when you have that, then there's no space for this mental affliction. All your mental afflictions is nothing but non-existence. See? So then they say, with this view, meditation, conduct, then you make the progress. You see, you get used to it. See, you just allow your practice there, step by step. And purifying all the mental obscurations, delusions. And where you're purifying obscurations, your mind becomes more clear, and all the excellent qualities are manifest. So with that, you see, the result of these two, devoid of hope and fear, is the Mahamudra. So the result, you see, the result is achieved. The Mahamudra, that is called result. The fruition. So all this four: view, meditation, conduct, and result. These four are achieved in the Mahamudra state, the practice. Okay. So these are profound. You just reflect, okay, meditate on this. And then we have another verse. Here said, the unarising nature of the mind is Dharmakaya. See, your mind nature, not unrising means there's nothing to coming out new. Your mind has been always in that way, like the space, you see. If you ask when the space began, there's no beginning of space, see. And how many changes? There's nothing to change space. So your mind is that way. Your mind is always in that nature. It's called unarising or non-arising. You know? So unarising or non-arising nature of the mind is the Dharmakaya. at this moment, just look, you see, where your mind is, outside, inside, in between, you cannot find anywhere. See? So that's Dharmakaya. See? Then it's unstopped self-luster, various Nirmanakaya. Within that mind, lot of thoughts manifest. You see, even though you cannot find where your mind is, but within that, you cannot stop your thinking. If you start to stop your thinking, you become crazy. You see, So better not stop, okay? But you have to handle your mind well, see? So that, manifestation of all this from that non-arising mind, Dharmakaya, various thoughts manifest. That's called Nirmanakaya. Okay. Then you see, it's union of luminosity and emptiness, Sambhokaya. So that manifestation of this thought as Nirmanakaya, if you see it, that there also exists nowhere. All the thoughts coming, in your mind, thoughts are coming. Now, where are they? Look at, you cannot find. So it means their nature is emptiness. So when you have the wisdom, when you have the skill, ability to capture this way, so that inseparable nature of the appearance, manifestation, and emptiness, that is Sambhokaya. There's no new to something to achieve, see. Make sense? So get this message, okay? So your enlightenment is in your hand, dear.
Rinpoche, can you repeat the Sambhogakaya?
That inseparable nature of the appearance of the emptiness. So it's a union of the luminosity and emptiness, the Sambhogakaya. And the three kayas, these three kayas, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, these three kayas are inseparable. You cannot say this Dharmakaya put there, this is Sambhogakaya put there, this is the Nirmanakaya put there. You cannot do that. That very, just right that moment at your mind itself is inseparable of the three kayas. Mind as it is, you see, that's the Mahamudra. Have you got the Mahamudra now? Better get it. Okay. Then next, dedication. See, as mentioned, time is flying. There's nothing to fly but flies. Okay. Dedication. Under the gaze of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of all the times and 10 directions, means Buddhas of the 3 times and 10 directions, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, just reflect in front of you in the space. Then, in front of that, you bring all your virtues that you have collected. See now, dedicate your entire collection of virtue, both that innate, your Buddha nature innate, and that accumulated in the 3 times, past, present, future, all the virtues, yourself and all sentient beings, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Then for the unpassable enlightenment of all your mother sentient beings, enemies, friends, and the rest, supreme dedication. So you dedicate. First, you see, you bring all your virtues, and now the virtues you mentioned, merit, virtue, wholesome deeds, whatever you say, no, that which has been done in the past, which will be done in the future, now, yourself, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas bring together. So then you dedicate that all the sentient beings may achieve the complete Buddhahood. Not just small benefit. Say, not just small, may they free from headache. May they successful in their business. No, not that. May all achieve Buddhahood. This is called the supreme dedication. Okay. And then we have next another one. Oh, no, we don't have another one. Now there's two verses for the completion. This profound fivefold path, as I mentioned, all the beginnings up until bodhicitta is all part of bodhicitta. Then yidam dedi vajrayana and guru yoga, mahamudra, dedication, practice. This is called fivefold path of mahamudra. Okay. The essence of sutra and mantra and tantra, all the Buddha's teaching within in these two, sutra and tantra, the hundreds of volumes of sutra, as well mantra or tantra, just all put together into the practice of these five paths. See, such a precious, you see. You cannot find this any other. And this, yes, fascinating. It's the purification of the five poisons. See, there are five poisons need to purify. No? Attachment, aversion, ignorance, pride, jealousies, and annihilation of the five demons that are listed. No? The king demon, male demon, female demon, nagas, and so forth. And the possession of the five wisdom, you see, the five wisdom, mirror-like wisdom, discriminative wisdom, the equanimity wisdom, the equanimity and Dharma experience, and then say the wisdom of the activities. So these five wisdoms. And the manifestation of the five Buddhas, you know those five Buddhas. And the spontaneous establishment of the five marvelous activities. So the peaceful, magnetizing, and power, and see the wrathful, and the fit is part of this, So these all are within this, the five paths. Purifies all the obscurations, accomplishes all the qualities. And if you have skill, these five paths is not too far. At the beginning, of course, we practice step by step, you see. Once you have really comprehended, even in 1 second, you have all the five paths of meditation. Ultimate bodhicitta, the perfection of the yidam deities, the completion, and the four kaya nature of the guru and the Mahamudra itself, and non-duality dedication, non-dualistic meditation, dedication. So all are in one point. You see? So that's why it's so skillfully designed of the practice, especially in this, where the Buddha taught all these Vajrayana and all these teachings, sutras are put together. For one individual can practice. Okay. So now next, the last one is advice. We go step by step. So this graduated path, complete and unmistaken. So these 5 parts, saying step by step, you practice bodhicitta, then Vajrayana, and then Guru Yoga, Mahamudra, dedications, or before that, from the, from reflecting on the impermanent, so forth, step by step, all this, you have to practice step by step, you see. You see, as I mentioned, first, without understanding impermanence, if you say everything's empty, then we'll say, what? It scares you. Empty? No. I'm here. No, I'm not empty. No, my family is here. They are not empty. You see, you scare me. They say. You see. So first you have to practice the impermanence. See, then you see everything's constituted with the causality. See, and everyone is suffering. Look at this. Then finally you take refuge. What means Buddha, Dharma, Sangha? So you go to step by step. Then when you say emptiness, oh yes, that makes sense now. Now I can benefit. I can benefit my family, my friends, all sentient beings, you see. So that's called graduated path. See, this graduated path, the 5-fold path, is complete. See, now there's no more or less, complete. And it is unmistaken. Okay. It's the method path. This is the method with this kind of path you follow, by which to eliminate confusions. You see, now I talked about the confusion. So this is the way how to eliminate our confusion. How we confuse in the samsara. And now how to eliminate confusion. You see, all in the Mahamudra, as mentioned, all your mental afflictions are now nothing but empty. They exist nowhere. So this first understanding is very important. Comprehend about this, and then follow the path, then practice, and then you get the total benefit. See? So therefore saying, fortunate ones who desire release from the land of samsara need to know that there's no second door to peace. You see, we all are so fortunate to meet this kind of condition. Really fortunate that you have to kind of investigate, realize, you have to convince yourself. Then you can say, yes, I'm so fortunate. Okay. Now through this, we will get all the opportunity to free from samsara. They're saying, fortunate ones who desire release from the land of samsara, who want to free from the country of the samsara, or from the capital of the samsara, go to the capital of the Dharmakaya, Nirvana, you see. So land of samsara need to know that there's no second door to peace. Now, say, I don't want to practice these 5 paths. Is there any other way to get there? So now, make sure you get it, you know. You see, so there's no other way, you see. There's no negotiation. Okay, so follow joyfully with such a feeling of privilege. I'm so fortunate. Therefore, say now, these teachings are very important to share with all the Buddhist practitioners, especially those Vajrayana practitioners. How important it is, how fortunate they are, see. So you understand this and appreciate. That this shows how your mind is now powerful. When you don't realize these 5 parts or these teachings, how powerful your mind in the samsara. Very destructive. No. Now, once you have understood the samsara and developed these teachings, bodhicitta and so forth, and how powerful it is to purify all the mental afflictions and can benefit all the sentient beings until the end of the samsara. Okay, have you got something? So I'm so happy, as I mentioned last time, I'm really grateful you are participating on these teachings. You know? And we can make the difference, you see. You study them, you practice them, and you can help to many other peoples. And I feel I'm so fortunate that I could share some of these things. Even though I'm a long way to go for enlightenment, but at least I've studied a little bit and I met some really great teachers, you see. Some very authentic teachers I met. But my practice is very poor. This is my fault. But I can convey their message. No? So you take them in your heart and study them more carefully and practice them regularly. So, you know, and see, we made very good motto practice, the Dharma Rosary. You see, Dharma Rosary is really very good book. Many people, they said, no, they told me that book is really good, has very good information. No? So practice those, and then you have these things, and then there are many other books are coming, not from me, but other scholars. You reflect on those, study them, practice them, and just get the benefit. Okay. And we can make a difference. Don't say this degenerated time. Who make the degenerated time? We people make this, no? We are the democratic system. We are the people can make the difference, okay? Buddha initiated the democracy, okay? You know, Buddha said Sangha. You see, Sangha means everybody who practices Dharma. There's no discrimination. So please understand this and encourage yourself, and then you no need so many questions, you know. All answers are there. Just make it happen, okay? Wonderful, thank you so much. Now, if anybody has any questions.
I have a question, Khenchen.
Yes.
So I know that it's important to understand who you're talking to.
Yes.
So if people don't understand impermanence, then like you said, they get very afraid, and it's very important for them to understand impermanence before you talk about, for them to understand emptiness, right? But, you know, sometimes it's just like, maybe their merit needs to be more accumulated for them to understand impermanence.
Of course, yes. That's very important. That's why there's 4 modules are designed, you know. So doing good things. This it is part of the causality, you see. Need a cause. Everybody, I mean, all the human beings have the human body, you know. But why it is called precious human life?
Because we can practice the Dharma.
Yes, you see, because you have the condition, you see. You have the condition to practice Dharma. See?
So I have to be patient and kind of wait and help the people.
Yes, we have to have it's mentioned there. We need a mountain of patience.
Yeah.
In this book mentioned, you see, you forgot. You need a patience of the mountain of patience. See?
Right. It's like, don't get overwhelmed by so many people suffering, you know.
No, just you see, there's a prayer by Shantideva in the 10th chapter, you know. As long as this space remains, as long as the sentient beings remain, may I remain to benefit all sentient beings. See, we have to have a bodhicitta until the end of the space. So now you can imagine when the space will finish. You see?
Yeah.
That's what's called courage as a measurement. Brave mind, courageous mind, you see? It's an indomitable courage, it's called.
So kind of helping the sentient beings accumulate merit, right?
Yes.
And that, so they can understand impermanence.
Yeah, that's step by step, yeah.
Also, accumulating merit helps them kind of release this kind of feeling of ego, me, a kind of release, also to help them so that they can understand the Dharma, right?
Yes.
And keep working.
Yeah, keep working. There's no alternative. That's why I mentioned unflaking faith. You understood the unflaking faith? Flag, you know? Faith, unflaking faith. You know that word?
Unfleeting, like doesn't leave, always staying.
Unflaking flag, you know, flag.
Flag?
Prayer flag.
Ah, yes.
So unflaking faith.
Right, unmoving, right?
Yeah. And then flinching, you know, flinch.
Like twitch.
Flinch. Going down, you know, sometimes go back, you know, off the track. So not off the track, unflinching devotion.
I understand.
Okay. This is a new word. This is the new word that I learned. Is so helpful.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Khenchen.
Yeah, no problem.
Rinpoche.
Yes.
TK on here.
TK,
Hello.
Mr.
How are you? I have a question on Yidam. Under Yidam, it says purify the mental affliction.
Yes, yes.
The direct cause of suffering with practice of the generation, completion, method, wisdom, divine form. So this practice, can we purify the afflictions one by one, like anger, desire, whatever? Can we do it like when we hear we one by one the different types of afflictions?
Yeah, yes, one by one, yes.
One by one, man.
One by one, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, it's a gradual path, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, thank you.
I have a question along that same paragraph.
Okay, Steve, yes.
Purify the mental afflictions, and it says, but take care if the afflictions gain control, birth as divine form spirit or demon may result. If one is doing a Vajrapani practice,
yes,
and you do not, if there's some way that there is a affliction that gains control, can you then give birth to a hungry ghost or demon?
Yes, it's possible. Very wrathful demon with the holy Vajra.
One has to be careful if they're doing a wrathful deity practice.
Yes. That's why wrathful deities are not so much recommended.
Okay.
Beginner, you know.
Yes.
Wow.
When you see there's some individuals very nasty, you know. Oh, I will get rid of that person, you know.
Do you want to use that wrath on your own anger? When you cut it?
It depends how you cut it.
It's wrong.
Can I ask a question, Rinpoche?
Yes.
Are you able to hear me? Oh, hello.
Yes,
thank you very much. Yes, hello, thank you. I am wondering why we separate the Yidam practice from the Guru Yoga practice. You know, sometimes I understand it to be the same, but why do we separate a Guru Yoga and a Deity Yoga practice?
No, there's already separation, you know. First of all, so you see, like to practice Yidam, you need Guru, you see. Do you know that? You see, to practice Mudra, you need a Guru, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, you see. So to get complete Yidam practice, you see, information about all Yidam practice information, you need a Guru who can give you all those information. So that's not Yidam, it's a Guru you need that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
Why is there a separate Guru Yoga and a separate Deity Yoga or Yidam Yoga?
That's I mentioned, you know. That's why when you want to practice Yidam practice, you need a Guru who can give you all the instructions. So then you practice the Yidam. And the Guru there's a special role to receive all the step teachings, you see.
Oh, I see.
You see, when you want to study impermanence, causality, refuge, you need all this Guru, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't receive those teachings from Yidam.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I hope it makes sense.
Thank you.
Mm.
Khenchen La, you said something, good to see you. You said something wonderful earlier, about 20 minutes ago, about everything coming together. Ultimate, I don't think I got them all. Ultimate bodhicitta, the 5 Buddha wisdoms, completion stage, Mahamudra, and non-duality. Could you reiterate that if you can remember?
What I was saying is that, first there's a 5 path, 5 path. Step by step you follow. You see, first you to generate bodhicitta, what kind of require, all the steps you follow. And then you put emphasis on the bodhicitta. See, you get it, Then after bodhicitta, you practice the yidam. See, this is yidam practice. This is what should I understand, the generation stage, completion stage, so forth. Then after that, the 4 kayas, Guru Yoga. What is the Nirvana Kaya, Guru Yoga? What is the Sambho Kaya? What's the Dharma Kaya, What's the Savavika Kaya of Guru Yoga? All the steps. You get it, You fully understood about the information of the Guru Yoga. Then after that, you get the Mahamudra. You see, before the Mahamudra, Shamatha, 4 practice of Mahamudra, the Shamatha, the Samadhi. It's a very important prerequisite required before. Without the shamatha, don't expect to get a real good result from the practice of Mahamudra. So you got both shamatha and the Mahamudra itself. Then what is the Mahamudra? You get all those information about the Mahamudra. See, then after that you dedicate all the virtues. After each the practices you done, you dedicate for for enlightenment, as mentioned before, So once you practice all those, you got it. Okay. Then see, all the taste of the Dharma is one, you see. Like one piece of sugar cane. If you have a piece of one sugar cane, then you just from right, from left, from up, from down, wherever you just lick, you find sweet. The ultimate bodhicitta is Mahamudra. The ultimate yidam is Mahamudra. The ultimate, you see, Guru Yoga is Mahamudra. And the Mahamudra is Mahamudra. And ultimate dedication is bodhicitta. I mean Mahamudra, So you get a skill, all those practice into one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Closing prayers, Rinpoche?
1 second, see. It's okay if I say a few words again? Anybody? Last time, last Saturday, I mentioned Kabuka's anniversary. Kabuka's, it was full moon day, the 6th month of the full moon. So I said, I just spoke briefly about the Kabuka, So later, I got a question. Who read Kabuka's life story? It's our audience here, we have in our audience, Teresa and Stephen. At the first meeting, so in Vinaya, the alcohol is not allowed. And then they asked me a question. So Kabuka was a monk, and Milarepa has given him a bowl of wine, on not wine, something like a beer, you know. And then Kabuka received as a blessing. So they said, what about that? So I want to clarify here. Kabuka was such a pure monk. There's no nonsense, no. And so when first time Kabuka met Milarepa, so in Milarepa's, in the bowl, there's a beer, you know, and given to Kabuka. So Kabuka, as a monk, he hesitated because there are so many people around. So in the middle of all those people, it's embarrassing. I'm a monk drinking, you know, alcohol, you know. So then Milarepa said, don't think too much, you know. So then Kabuka totally understood about what message is about. First, we could say, when he hesitated means he's not attached to the alcohol. A lot of we people drink alcohol because we're attached to. The attachment of the wine, beer is delicious, I think. And they drink. Then they're intoxicated, you know. Problem rise from there. So Kabuka has no attachment it whatsoever. Therefore, first, as a monk, he hesitated. But then when Milarepa said, don't hesitate, don't think too much, you know, immediately Kabuka realized this is totally blessed by Milarepa. You know, totally blessed by Milarepa and totally transformed into nectar. So as an auspicious sign, then Kabuka drink totally complete. Because then Kabuka got total, all the Vajrayana teachings, you see. So says the alcohol in this transformation, all this in the Vajrayana, there's a lot of transformations, you know, practices. All this ordinary transform into, you know, the enlightened nature. So Milarepa totally understood Kabuka has the total vessel to receive all those Vajrayana teachings. See, that Kabuka has capable to transform all into alcohol. I mean, the total all transformed into wisdom, enlightened nature. Okay, so this is the one very important message. But of course, Kabuka later not drink, you know, he hasn't have any drop, okay, to show a good example to all his disciples. That because there are thousands of disciples, some are highly accomplished, some are very ordinary, you know. So to show pure example, he did not use a drop. And there are also, now in the chalk offering, do you know chalk offerings? There's some that they use in the chalk offering meat, alcohol and meat in the chalk. See, so what about the chalk in the meat in the chalk offerings? And that you see, then it's very strange, they say. That's why Tibetan Buddhist, let's say Vajrayana, is mixed with some other religion, not pure Buddhist. Actually, it's, as I mentioned, it's a transformation. And not only that, see, in the meat case, in the Vajrayana, did not mention you should use a delicious meat. Okay.
like, you know, like this, you know, like the cattle's rib, you know, oh, this delicious meat, have not mentioned. What actually mentioned is use dog meat, elephant meat, horse meat, like that. You see, what that shows is, first of all, directly don't use meat. If you use, you should have such a ability that everything can transform into nectar. Nothing but nectar, you see. That's why Kabuka himself mentioned, don't eat meat. And Jigten Sumgon especially, no, said don't eat meat. It's mentioned, no. So this I want to clarify, okay? Okay, thank you so much. Then see you next Saturday. And first, please breathe in, inhale fully, and exhale. Once more, please breathe in fully. Exhale. Now please breathe in fully and exhale. Not only this time here, anytime when you do meditation, this is very good. Just you are so stressed, so breathe in fully and try to relax, you know. Then do meditation without expectation, without wandering the mind, or you read the book carefully. So these are some methods you can use. And now today, this morning, or whatever way you at we went through this session, the teachings. Please reflect on this before we forget all the steps we went through, you know? And so just, you know, reflect on these. Not so much, only 3 hours or less than 3 hours we went, you know? So reflect on these, utilize, meditate, and as last time I mentioned, you know, all the suffering we're going through is our mental afflictions. Of course, there are sometimes physical suffering, so much there's pain, you know, a lot of those things, but there's not 24 hours. But mental affliction is 24 hours. So we purify, and we have such a precious Dharma. No, Dharma is totally designed for that, to heal our mind. All the mental afflictions need to be now purified. The only remedy is the Dharma teachings. So reflect this. And this we need not just only we Buddhists, but everybody needs. You know, during this pandemic, so many people are suffering so much because they don't know how to handle these mental afflictions. No? And they're confined in their house and they're suffering so much. So see, Dharma is such a precious thing. No? Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Anila, please say some dedication prayers, and then see you in the next Saturday.
Page 57, a treasure of glorious endless life composed by His Holiness, long life prayer for Khenchen. I supplicate the longevity deities, Buddha Amitayus, holder of the long life treasure, Ushinisha Vijaya, maintainer of a long life, primordial wisdom, White Tara, wish-granting meal of long life bestowal, please pour streams of longevity elixir. You have the view realization of Nagarjuna and Maitrapa, the meditation experience of Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, and Lord Mila. The conduct of correct acceptance and rejection of Gapmopa, Phagmodrupa, and Kyobypa Jigten Sumgon. May you, holder of this treasury of view, meditation, conduct, live long. Your body is like Naton Do De, endowed with listening wisdom. Your speech is like Chan Na Dragjun, endowed with contemplation, intelligence. Your mind is like Drikung Lingpa, endowed with meditation, samadhi. May you, master of listening, contemplating, and meditating, live long. Your renowned learning destroys the confidence of falsehood speakers. Your fragrant discipline cuts down the arrogance. Your cool shade of excellence skillfully encourages all living beings. May you, great master of learning, discipline, and excellence, live long. You maintain the validity of Gonchik teaching tradition. Your lion's roar defeats all debate challenges. Your compositions expand the tenet system of the Kagyu lineage. May you, great master of teaching, debating, and composing, live long. Khenchen, Lord of speech, so that you may raise aloft for the benefit of the world on the summit of Mount Meru, a 3 jewels scripture and realization victory banner that will never fall. May your Vajra health and lotus feet be ever steadfast. By the blessings of the 3 jewels and the ocean of conquerors, the power of might, the oath-bound Dharma protectors, and infallible basic character of interdependence, may all these aspirations be fulfilled swiftly and without hindrance. Dedication prayer of Lord Jigten Sumgon, glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams, assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, yogins, yoginis, and dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by the wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all beings in Samsara and Nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. May the teachings of the great Drikungpa Ratnashiri, who is the omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue to increase through practice, contemplation, meditation, until the end of samsara.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week, Rinpoche.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Muchas gracias.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, everyone take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Good night, Rinpoche.
Das Vidanya.
Yes.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias.